Hi, this is Soran with the first ever episode of Ultimate Weapon Guides for Warzone. Today we are gonna talk about Grau. I posted a couple of guides on Reddit recently, explaining in detail my thoughts on weapons for Warzone, and have gotten a ton of great feedback. A couple of things that were brought up a lot were people wanting to see me playing the game, and others wanting video versions of my guides. So, to everybody that asked, this is for you. I'm just seeing how it goes for now, but I really do think it could be great to post more content. Please give me your thoughts in the comments below. Any advice or ideas are truly appreciated so that I can build this channel in a way that is both entertaining and educational. I truly can't do this without you. With that being said, on to the guide. Grau is an assault rifle that really shines at long distances. However, while the low recoil and great range are awesome features, the damage model it uses honestly isn't that great. In this guide, I'm going to explain my personal thoughts on the gun, how to minimize its downsides, and what to do to maximize its pros. I will also go over a couple of builds that utilize the gun's features best. The damage model that Grau uses is similar to Kilo 141, so if you've got any experience with the weapon, it's probably something that you're going to notice right away. Under 32 meters, Grau deals 28 damage per body shot and 42 damage per headshot. Between 32 and 60 meters, the gun deals 23 damage per body shot and 35 for a headshot. And going beyond 60 meters, we can see that the damage drops down to 18 for a body shot and 27 for a headshot. Keep in mind that by default, you've got 100 health and get 50 more for each armor plate. That gives you a total of 250 health. Taking all of that into account, we can go into the chart that I made here. I have each section divided to show close range under 32 meters, mid range between 32 and 60 meters, and long range over 60 meters. Using all of that information, we can get our average TTK or time to kill of 640 milliseconds. On the chart, I've listed some weapons that have a higher TTK like M4A1 and RAM7, as well as other guns that have a lower TTK like SCAR. Now, let's take a look at recoil. The pattern goes up and to the right. It doesn't really have side-to-side recoil, so it's really easy to control. One important thing to note is that once you get out of your effective range of about 60 meters, you lose out on quite a bit of damage. That means while you do have a really nice range, you still need to pay attention and make sure you are not overextending. If you do, you will go from doing nice and consistent damage to actually being the 5th slowest killer in all of Warzone. And considering how many guns and builds there are, that's really bad. In the following builds, I recommend using the Nexus barrel over the Archangel barrel. And I got a few questions as to why before, so I want to hit on them really fast. What you end up sacrificing compared to the Nexus barrel is 2 frames of aim down sight speed and 0.5% movement speed. While the movement speed loss is fairly minimal, you will absolutely feel that aim down sight speed change. But what do you get for that loss of speed? A range boost and better recoil control, but only kind of and not really. When put against the Nexus, you only get 5% more range, or about 3 meters, and because of the way recoil control works in the game, while the vertical recoil is less than the Nexus barrels, the horizontal recoil is actually higher. So while the stats in the game make it sound like the Archangel barrel is better, honestly, it's just not. However, one interesting thing about the gun is that each barrel has a significantly different iron sight. So if you plan on going without a scope, and you really love the iron sight that the Archangel has, go for it. This is the build that I personally recommend on Grau5.56. First, monolithic suppressor that gives 7.5% boost on the range and also sound suppression effect. The sound suppression effect allows you to stay stealth even if you fire your weapon, so I highly recommend to use suppressor on every guns in Warzone. On the downside, it slows down aim down sight speed by 1 frame, which is about 33 milliseconds. Next one is FFS 20.8 inches Nexus barrel. It provides 40% boost on the range as well as faster blast velocity, and it also enhances recoil control. On the downside, it slows down aim down sight speed by 2 frames and movement speed by about 3%. And there's one of my favorite attachments to use on most guns, which is Commando foregrip. Commando foregrip enhances the recoil stabilization and the aim stabilization. The recoil stabilization reduces randomness on the recoil pattern, and the aim stabilization reduces idle sway and sway when you fire the weapon. I feel like extended magazines are quite necessary in Warzone because you usually bump into more than 2 enemies at the same time, and even if you have sleight of hands, it's still quite dangerous to reload your weapon when there still are enemies. When it comes to optic, my personal favorite would be, when it comes to optic, you can just use any optic that you like, but my personal favorite would be VLK3 or hybrid scope. The next build is for mid or close range combat rather than long range combat. Once again, there's monolithic suppressor that gives you sound suppression effect and also range boost, as well as Commando foregrip, which is my favorite attachment. And there's XRK Void 2, which gives you enhanced sprint out time, but on the downside, it has 1 frame penalty on aim down sight speed, and it has penalty on both aim stabilization and recoil control. Like I've already explained, I feel like extended magazines are necessary in Warzone. This build is for players that enjoy using an iron sight. It's pretty similar to the previous build, but instead of the optic, there is a barrel. You can replace the barrel to whichever one you want for the look of the iron sight. Now I'm gonna show you some questions people have asked me on Reddit. Stay gold. I actually don't know how to pronounce his name. But anyway, somebody asked me where do I get the exact numbers for the movement speed and attachment and stuff. The answer is I record videos for each attachment and count a time and frame on Adobe Premiere. But there are YouTubers that do exact same thing. Check Exclusive Ace and Drifter on YouTube. They also test stuff and figure out the numbers. Their numbers sometimes don't match with each other's data or mine. It's because everyone has slightly different frames per second on their game and also slightly different way to measure stuff. This one here was given by Brad. I'm not sure if I pronounced his name right. PKM beats Grau in every category but reload speed. Well, I would say Grau and PKM just have different rules and features because Grau is assault rifle and PKM is light machine gun. PKM can outperform most of assault rifles on long-range combat situation. It has really awful mobility. I mean, the sprint to fire speed is horrible. The aim down sight speed is way slower. Even if PKM is with every possible attachments for aim down sight speed, it's still slower than Grau. And obviously, I'm not his kid. The other question that so many people have asked me is what gun I would combine with this gun on my loadout. Against sniper rifle or DMR, Grau can at least try to deal with them because Grau has decent range and also really good accuracy, and because it's automatic rifle anyways, it can give sniper tons of aim punch. On the other side, Grau can't really compete with submachine guns or shotguns in close combat situation. So I personally recommend to carry Grau5.56 or MP7 with Grau. With that, I just want to thank you guys for watching my video. Next time, I'm going to make a MP7 guide. I was thinking about recording some gameplay stuff as well, if anybody is interested in that. But if you have any other ideas or suggestions, please leave them in the comment below. Where the channel is still so new, there's a lot of room for growth and change. Anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!